Hello and welcome to Finatics Fish Story Time. Today is episode 8 and we're going to do a great story by Moe Willams, one of our very favorite books here at Finatics. It's called There Is a Bird on My Head. It's a Piggy and Gerald special and it talks all about baby birds and nests. And so we thought we would talk about baby birds and nests and baby fish and nests. And how different fish have babies. Lots of different ways that fish go about having their babies. Some of them take care of them and some of them don't. But now let's get ready for our story time. Hi Finatics Fish friends, we got another fun book for you. Another one of my very favorites, and as you know, if you know me, I've got lots of favorites of everything. This one is by Moe Willams. It's called Piggy and Gerald, There Is a Bird on Your Head. I love the Piggy and Gerald series. They're so much fun. This one, like all of them, is great fun. Absolutely love Piggy and Gerald because I love their voices. Their voices for me sound like this. Here's Piggy. There's a bird on your head. Seem to be minding their own business, aren't they? Piggy! Oh my goodness, I think he scared Piggy right out of his pants. Piggy doesn't wear pants, does he? Is something on my head? Yes. Oh!
That scared him right out of his pants.
Yeah, didn't Gerald get upset again? Gerald gets upset about a lot, doesn't he? Is there a bird on my head now? No. Not much bugs Piggy, does it? Now there's 2 birds on your head. Gerald seems, well, annoyed. What are 2 birds doing on my head? They're in love. Oh goodness. The birds on my head are in love? They're lovebirds. Lovebirds. How do you know they are lovebirds? They're making a nest. 2 birds are making a nest on my head. Why would 2 birds make a nest on my head? Of all the people to get a bird nest on their head, Gerald seems like the least able to cope with such a thing, doesn't he? Looks very nervous now. I'm afraid to ask. Do I have an egg on my head? Is there an egg on his head? One, 2,
3 eggs.
3. You have 3 eggs on your head. I don't want 3 eggs on my head. Then I have good news. The eggs are gone? The eggs are hatching. Hatching? The eggs on my head are hatching? Oh my goodness, poor Gerald. Cheep, 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 cheep. They have hatched. Figure seems very emotional, doesn't she? Now I have 3 baby chicks on my head. And 2 birds in a nest.
I don't want 3 baby chicks, 2 birds, and a nest on my head.
Where do you want them?
Somewhere else!
My goodness, even Piggy. Big old Gerald. When he gets upset. Why don't you ask them to go somewhere else?
Ask them.
Ask them. Well, that seems like a reasonable thing to do, now doesn't it?
Okay, I will try asking. Excuse me, birds, will you please go somewhere else?
No problem.
It worked!
Hi. Look at that. When you ask, sometimes you receive.
Now there are no birds on my head. Thank you, Piggy. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, poor Piggy. Is that silly that the birds decide to make a nest on somebody's head? A silly bird. Sometimes they just pick the funniest places to go.
You find there's Pigeon at the back of the page on every book.
There's no pigeon.
Pigeon's another fun book.
Yes, we love Piggy and Gerald, and we love pigeon too.
All fun books with Moe Willams.
Thanks for joining us for a story today, friends. We have so much fun doing the stories and the voices. One of my absolute favorites again.
Hi, Finatics friends. We're here with a song today. What is it called?
Kookaburra.
The Kookaburra. And we like this song a lot, and it goes like this. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, eating all the gumdrops he can see. Wait, Kookaburra, wait. Kookaburra, save some there for me. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, counting all the monkeys he can see. Wait, Kookaburra, wait. Kookaburra, that's not a monkey, that's me. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, singing a little melody. Sing, Kookaburra, sing. Kookaburra, sing a song for me. Can you sing with me, Norba? You ready? Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, singing a little melody. Sing, Kookaburra, sing. Kookaburra, sing a song for me. Thanks for joining us, friends. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
That was a fun story and a great song. Have you ever had the pleasure of seeing a bird's nest before? This year we got lucky and we had a couple of nests on our property. We had this great little nest here. Started out with some eggs, and then we saw the baby birds hatch, and they grew, and then they left the nest, and it was really fun to watch their life cycle. Some fish make nests also. This betta, when he's ready, will make a nest at the top of the water with bubbles. Right up here you can see the start of a bubble nest. And then him and his girlfriend will go up there and lay their eggs there. This is a pleco in his cave. That's actually the boy taking care of a batch of eggs deep inside of his nest, which is made in a tube. In the wild, that tube might be a hollowed out part of a root or log or mud. Plecos take care of their babies for a little while, about a week, and then the babies bust out past their daddy out of the tube and they go running around. You can see some small babies here. There's some up in the tube. But after they come out of the tube, they're on their own. Many of the aquarium fish that you're used to seeing, like these white clouds here, are actually egg scatterers. They don't take care of their babies at all. They just drop their eggs wherever. A lot of times they'll lose them in patches of underwater plants that'll hide the eggs. And then the babies hatch and are on their own from the very beginning. Tetras and barbs and a whole lot of the fish that you're used to seeing in your aquarium are actually egg scatterers like this. Here's a group of barbs. They'll produce eggs a lot of times even in your aquarium, though the fact that they don't take care of their eggs oftentimes leaves them susceptible to being predated upon by other fishes. These fish here are African cichlids. There's a lot of different types, but they have one thing in common in that they take care of their eggs that they'll clear off and keep the nests in good shape. There are several different methods in which they take care of the eggs to give them a better chance to hatch. These guys are called a shell dweller. Shell dwellers actually lay their eggs inside a shell, and then they care for their eggs until they hatch, and then they let the babies grow up. There are a lot of different mechanisms that fish use to try to keep their eggs safe. These little fellas right here are sneaky. They actually sneak their eggs in with African cichlids' eggs and let the cichlids raise the little catfish babies for them. Parental care for different fish types can take a lot of different forms. These little apistogrammas will take care of their eggs and then take care of their babies for quite a while they're brooding to make sure that other fish don't predate on the young, vulnerable fish. That's true for a lot of different cichlids, like these angelfish here that will also care for their young for a few weeks until they get big enough to be on their own. Some fish will actually take their babies in their mouth to put them where they want them, and there are even some fish called mouth brooders that raise them entirely in their mouths. These ghost shrimp take care of their eggs in their tail. You see that little humpy spot in their tail? That's where they'll hold their eggs until they're ready to hatch and go run off on their own. Most snails lay eggs and the babies crawl away are on their own from the beginning. But these snails are rabbit snails, and they actually have live babies. There's several different types of snail that have live babies. They have one at a time instead of having a clutch. And then those little babies just slime off and take care of themselves. They're a little copy of the adult from their very first, just tiny. Many fish have live babies also. They lay their eggs inside their body, and then when the babies are ready to come out free swimming, they are born. This group of fish are called live bearers collectively. Platies, mollies, guppies, swordtails are all in a family that are called live bearers because they have live babies. If you ever have had guppies or swordtails or mollies in your tank, you may have experienced having babies born right in your tank. Here are some baby guppies that we had here at Finatics. It can be a lot of fun to raise babies. They came out very small and they're already getting bigger. Thanks for coming and exploring our natural world with us today. I hope you enjoyed learning about nests and eggs, and I sure enjoyed reading you guys Piggy and Gerald. We'll catch you next week for another episode of Finatics Fish Story Time. I hope you don't end up with one on your head, but I hope while you're out in the world that you get a chance to see a bird's nest or maybe even get to see baby fish in your tank. It's one of nature's wonderful joys to explore. And until next week, you guys have an awesome day, an awesome week, and enjoy this summer we got coming up.